want a metronome?
No.
The Down to Earth podcast with Oakley and
Aziza.
Okay. So I think we're gonna have to talk kind of loud because it's pretty low. I can't tell where it's coming from. I can't tell where it's. Yeah, it's definitely coming from over here. Okay. So, gonna have to cut out. Not cut anything out. We're not cutting anything out.
This is raw, down to earth. Why would you cut anything out?
Raw, down to earth. All right. Introduction. Give a little introduction about yourself.
Oh, about myself. I'm Aziza. I'm a student.
Where?
And I go to Cornell University. And I sometimes have a lot of opinions and sometimes I don't, I guess. What about you?
My name is Oakley. I go to Binghamton University so far. And I also usually have a lot of opinions as well. Although, oh man, it looks like we're so low. Whatever. That can be amplified, hopefully. Right?
I hope.
You want to check?
Yeah. Before we get into it and then we're like, oh shit, we can't hear anything.
Just...
Does my voice really sound like that?
No. Okay, so, yeah, so, how do you identify yourself?
In terms of what?
Anything.
Well, I guess in spirit of this episode, I identify as a woman.
What type of woman?
A cis woman.
That's not what I meant. I meant, are you a bitch?
Shut up.
I'm kidding. No,
Shut up.
I'm kidding.
Damn, now everyone's gonna be like, see, trans men are so misogynistic.
No, whatever. A cis woman.
Yeah, cis
You're
woman.
a cis woman. Wow. Okay.
I mean, I thought that's what you meant.
Yeah, okay. That is what I meant. I'm just joking. What are your pronouns?
She, her. My pronouns are she,
Wow,
her.
you're so boring.
I know, right?
Alright.
She, her, they, them. No, just she, her.
Just she, her.
Yeah.
Or they, them.
No, just she, her.
Okay. Is that it? You don't want to say anything else?
Yeah, no.
Alright. My name is Oakley. Oh, shit. I did not say my last name. I'm so used to saying my last name. Should I cut it out?
No.
I'm not using my last name in a fucking podcast.
Okay,
Whatever.
then cut it out.
No one can spell my last name anyways.
Just say Oakley, beep. Or you know how in SpongeBob?
Yeah, alright. This hurts my head.
Wait, it's not playing anymore?
Yes,
yeah,
it is.
Sorry, I can't see.
Alright, my pronouns are him. I identify as a male. And I just happen to have been born a female, so take that as you will.
Mm-hmm.
That was loud. Alright, so I do not identify as a trans man, though, because I just identify as a person because that's so fucking stupid. You don't have to identify as anything. In my opinion, I think people are just people.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like also being like, oh, I'm a trans guy or I'm a trans woman. It's like people get confused and then all of a sudden they think that being trans is a whole different gender, and it's not.
It's not. It's literally just you were born this way, but it whatever. It's not that way though.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Whatever. I gotta stop saying whatever now.
So, one of the things I wanted to talk about was this discussion in my global history of love class. I studied plant sciences, but this semester I decided to knock out my humanities, so I'm taking some history courses, and one of them just happened to be the history of love because it sounded really interesting. But anyway, it's listed as a class for the feminist gender and sexuality studies department. And so I was like, okay, whatever. Obviously, love has to do with gender and culture and stuff. So one of the assignments was to listen to the American Life podcast from like 2002 called Testosterone. It was just like a whole segment on testosterone. And
Well,
so
it was from 2002. I thought you said it was.
I thought it was 1987, but I realized it was 2002, so it was aired 2002. I think they posted it later, and there's like, oh, this was like 12 years ago or whatever. I think it was, my teacher said it was 2002.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, so one of the people that were interviewed during the testosterone segment, Oakley's eating potato chips, was this trans guy named Griffin, and he just described like how he had changed when he started testosterone. And he said that it was harder for him to cry, and he felt like really horny, basically. Yo, do you mind? Like there was also this one part, he's like, I saw this red convertible, a Mustang, and I felt it like through my body. Like he was just like really horny, this dude. On T. He says now it's leveled out, but yeah, and so the people in my class, like, I don't know, they were like, someone said it's almost as if his transition made him misogynistic.
Well, point out maybe what you think that we're talking about.
Oh yeah, because he said that he was walking down the street and he saw this woman and he looked at her and he was like, oh, she's really attractive, and you know, prior to his transition he was a butch lesbian, as he said it. And so he was like as a lesbian, I would just look at her and admire her and keep walking, but on T, I just like felt this like she was like beautiful, and I didn't even focus on her face. Like I really tried not to look at her ass, but I kept finding myself staring at her ass, and so people were like, oh, him being on testosterone made him completely misogynistic. But he was like, I don't think it makes me misogynistic. I think I'm more of a post-feminist, which I thought was interesting, but...
That's what he said?
Yeah.
What is a post-feminist?
What is a post-feminist? I guess, I don't know,
People
after
who
feminism.
are over feminism?
Yeah, but the thing is, he is a feminist. He's like, oh, maybe I'm more of a post-feminist than a misogynist. Because he was like a hardcore feminist before transitioning, and I guess he just feels like now he can't really be in those spaces because he's on T. This has nothing in it. I have water up there. But yeah, so everyone started calling him misogynistic, and people said the podcast felt like bullshit to make cis men feel happy and comfortable with transness. So implying that he was lying about how testosterone made him change in order to appeal to the cis guy who was interviewing him. And then someone else said very much felt like reducing masculinity to testosterone. Babe, testosterone is literally the male hormone, like...
Is that all they said?
Yeah, that's what they said. I think they said more during class, but these were the main points.
So, basically, everyone in your class hated it.
Yeah.
And you loved it.
Yeah, I liked the segment. I thought it was really interesting, and really insightful, and I feel like trans people go through their transitions in different ways, and why is it wrong if a trans man is literally enjoying being masculine? Like, isn't that the whole point?
I think, honestly, like, the whole thing that he said about... I mean, I didn't listen to the podcast, But I think the whole thing he said about, like, looking at this woman, this was just an example.
Yeah.
Right.
Sorry.
And, like, you know, looking at this woman and not being able to focus on, like, who she is, but looking at her body and being turned on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, women can take that whatever way they want to, but, like, it's not a bad thing necessarily. Especially you're not acting on it.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, ogling.
Like, he kept it to himself. So.
Yeah, like, ogling at a woman is, like, not disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sure she didn't even see him.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think whatever, like, that person in your class said, that is kind of transphobic. To be like, oh, as soon as he went on T, he became misogynistic.
Yeah.
So you're saying just because of the few examples that he gave, you know, about how T has affected him, like, that makes him now misogynistic?
Yeah.
What if he checked out women before, which he probably did? He literally said that he did.
Yeah.
Like, he would look at women as a, you know, quote unquote butch lesbian.
Yeah.
And admire their bodies. And I'm sure he still wanted to have sex with them.
Yeah.
No shit. Like, what?
It's just,
I feel like women just love to hate on men. And, you know, there's reasons to, but, I mean, if you have a reason to, you know, give your reason and, you know, say why you feel that way. But if you're just, like, grasping at straws.
Yeah. To me, it just felt like they were angry.
That he became a man.
Exactly. That is exactly it. They're angry for a trans man being a man.
They're angry that a woman became a man.
Yeah.
Even though, you know, he was always a man. That's transphobic. I think that is transphobic. I think they should have kept their fucking mouths shut and not said anything.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, actually maybe critically thought about what they were listening to and took in another perspective, because a lot of people don't even like to listen to what other people have to say.
Yeah. I'm sure they were very angry when they listened to that section, but I was honestly laughing. I was like, damn, I really enjoyed it, you know? And I don't know, I feel like they really are just mad at him because what if he did start testosterone, but he was still, like, quote unquote a lesbian or he liked really girly things or whatever. What if he just wasn't performing masculinity? The thing is, he's, as a butch lesbian and as someone who's transitioning as a trans guy, he was always performing masculinity. Why are they mad at him now?
Because it's a real masculinity, because he's a man now.
Yeah.
You know? But if you say shit like that, if you say, oh, that's a real masculinity, well, I mean, some people will take it the wrong way and be like, well, what do you mean it's real masculinity? Because obviously if he was identifying as a butch lesbian, he wasn't identifying as a guy, and he didn't realize he was trans.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, he even went to a women's college. Like, yeah.
It's just, it's, the thing is, like, people like that just love to live in the dark.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, men and women are completely the same. They're completely equal. Men have no sexual urges whatsoever, even though, you know, men going through puberty, like, get erections constantly and can't help themselves. Like, can't help but jerk off constantly.
That's something I wanted to say. I'm like, guys, cut him some slack. He was literally going through a second puberty. That's exactly what I wanted to say, but I was like, no, they keep shitting, and I felt like I just had no space to say that. Especially once the actual trans guy in the class was speaking. He was like, yeah, I think this guy is, he's just appealing to the cis guy, because actually when I got on trans, I started crying even more. I became even more emotional.
I want to know what type of testosterone that was, because I don't really cry.
Yeah.
Like, we were watching Attack on Titan. I was like, I felt like I was crying, but I wasn't crying.
Yeah, no.
Like, sometimes, like, I'll cry out of laughter more than I'll cry out of fucking sadness.
Yeah. And it's okay to have these, like, biological differences.
Yeah.
These hormonal differences, like why?
No.
Ugh.
The thing is, as soon as men embrace their masculinity, it gets called toxic.
Yeah.
Because there is an actual, real toxic masculinity
Yeah.
that's harmful. Like, men thinking that they own women, going around treating them like shit, and like thinking that they deserve sex and they deserve this and they can catcall and they can drug women at parties and like literally everything else, I guess. I kind of lost track of what I was talking about.
Yeah, you're like, oh, but there's actual toxic masculinity.
Yeah,
and
like
there's
that.
masculinity that's perceived as being toxic.
Yeah, no, it's I think maybe a lot of this has to do with social media. Because on social media, there's only so many times that you can talk about the same thing. But the people who understand, like, you'll talk about anti-homophobia, or like anti-homophobia, anti-transphobia, anti-racism, like you'll talk about this and that and why you shouldn't do that, because everyone's equal, because, everyone just deserves their own rights and people should just be treated with love and equality. Period.
Yeah.
Fucking point blank. Like, you can, like, advocates, activists, real activists, like, can go out there and talk to people who don't understand it. But when there's online spaces where it's just people saying the same things over and over again, they're like, I need something else.
And it's also like exclusive online environments. Like real people don't actually exist in these spaces.
Yeah.
It's only this particular group.
It's like any sort of big group that ends up getting shared on the internet.
Yeah.
Like, say for example, like furry stuff. Like if like one post goes really big, like a scandal that happened in the furry community, like Kira the Wolf is a fucking porn star or something. Like, it'll go all across fucking Twitter, and then people who have no idea what a furry is will be like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then it's the same shit with all of these people who think that they're being advocates and, think that they're helping by not helping at all.
Yeah.
And it's not even the trans people. I just wish cis people would just shut the fuck up. Unless you're down to earth and you understand. But if you don't understand, you just don't understand. And you're just going to keep making a fool out of yourself and make a fool out of everyone else that you're trying to protect and advocate for.
Yeah.
But what I was saying also was, no, it's like social media in general, it's always about what can I do next? What can I add? What can I do more? What can I say to get likes? What can I do to get interactions and comments and this and that on Instagram, Twitter, whatever?
Yep.
It's like there's always another post. That's the thing. There's always another post. So if you have, like advocates, this is just a theory I have. I feel like it makes sense though.
Yeah.
If you have, hopefully that's not in the audio. Your thing just.
My mini fridge just started.
If you have an Instagram account, for example, and you have a bunch of advocates on there, and you make your first post, LGBTQ plus, everybody is included, or respect people's pronouns, don't assume what people want, don't assume pronouns, be accepting, treat people with love and kindness, and, like, etc.
Yeah.
There's your post. How many times do you need to say it?
Right?
So the next thing that they're going to be is like, what else can I say? Oh, you know what I'm going to say?
You don't have to have dysphoria to be trans.
Yeah, I'm going to say you don't have dysphoria to be trans. Or I'm going to say, it's perfectly okay for trans men to be feminine. or for trans women to be masculine, which, yes, of course it's fine. Like, it's did we really need validation from someone else to know that, like, expressing your gender is okay? Like, if you wanted to be inclusive of everybody, including trans people and cis people, because it's not just a trans thing.
Yeah.
You make it seem like the only people who are expressing their genders differently are trans people.
Exactly. That's why people identify as non-binary nowadays, because, like, all the fucking time, because they don't realize that you can be a biological female, you can be a woman, and be masculine.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to identify as non-binary or a trans guy to do that.
And even the thing with me is, like, only recently have I even thought about expressing my gender identity in ways that aren't just strictly masculine. Because, you know, at this point, I'm almost 2 years on T. Just got top surgery. Like, I'm feeling myself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I know that, you know, I'm not just my gender. And I'm understanding that no one is just their gender.
Yeah.
No one is just their sexuality. Like, no one is just their sexuality. No one is just anything. You know, labels are so stupid, just in general. You know, like, but what I'm saying is, only recently have I been like, oh, you know, like, I can paint my nails.
Yeah.
I can let my hair grow out. I can fucking curl my eyelashes because I think it's cool. Yes, I do that now sometimes, which I forgot to today because I didn't take a shower.
You cannot take showers.
You can't take showers. You can't, like, you can't dye your hair or make yourself look good.
Sorry, there's a hole here forming.
Okay, I can sew that up.
Oh, please.
But I don't have sewing materials.
Okay, these are my favorite.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing, sewing.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa, sewing is for women, right?
I don't know how to do jack shit.
She doesn't know how to do jack shit. No, it's just, like, you talk about the same thing over and over again, and it's like telephone. It's like you're playing fucking telephone on the internet. It's like, respect trans people. Well, let me do it the other way.
Yeah.
So I'm like, respect trans people and treat them like human beings. And then somewhere down the line, you don't need dysphoria to be trans. Yeah. Anyone can be trans. Anyone can be trans.
Yeah. But there's no one right way to be trans. Okay.
It's like, okay. Like, did you need to say that?
Yeah.
Like, isn't that a given with anything? I don't know. And then, like, you can't even say shit about, like, oh, you don't need dysphoria to be trans, or you need dysphoria to be trans. Like, you can't say shit like that without people, like, getting on the defense.
Mm-hmm. And they're so quick to, like, come up with these labels, like, true scum, trans med, too cute. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Like, do you realize that in the real world, this means nothing to the regular person?
You're too cute. You're too cute.
Oh, stop.
In your trans med... I can't think of anything funny with that.
It doesn't even sound sexy.
No. You're trans med.
Hey,
You're true scum. You're true scum. Like, you could just call someone true scum without it meaning true scum.
Yeah.
True
You're
scum.
trans man.
No,
I don't even know the difference. True scum, I thought true scum and trans men were the same thing.
True.
And then too cute was like.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
True scum is what
Too cutes
call trans meds. Why is it so complicated?
Is the viewer the viewing of the, like...
The viewer is viewing the viewee.
Viewing the view.
Viewing the viewed.
True scum is what too cute called trans meds. Like, are you listening to this? Like, I don't think any real regular person in the outside world knows what the hell this even is.
And they shouldn't.
They shouldn't. It's all stupid online discourse that means absolutely nothing in the real world.
Literally. Like, I used to identify myself as one of them.
Trans men are too cute, or true scum.
As a viewer.
As a viewer,
no, but at this point, I realized it all just does not matter.
Yeah.
And I wish people would understand that it does not fucking matter. Like, literally, at this point, I don't care if someone is trans or not. Mm-hmm. I will treat people with respect that they treat me.
Yeah.
Like, if your pronouns are they, them, I don't give a fuck.
Exactly. No one's gonna kill you over it,
like, I'll be accepting, and if someone misgenders you, like, I'll stand up for you. Like, why can't that just be understood by everyone?
Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like the whole Twitter trans community and everything. It's like everybody just hates each other, and we're all expected to hate each other because we have these small disagreements. Yeah. There's this huge community, and we all have tiny little small disagreements with each other. Mm-hmm. And that means we all have to hate each other.
And then cancel culture is like, oh my god, why are my followers still following this one trans man? Like, shit. Like, just live and let live, man. That's literally all you have to do is just respect everyone and everyone. But the problem is that people like to drag others with them and divide each other. Like, why are we being divided? Like,
and the thing is, it's a cycle too.
Yeah.
Because I've been in like when I first got on Twitter, I was like, this is who I am, this is what I like, this is what I believe. And then some people would unfollow me. I'd have mutuals who would block me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck? Like, alright. But if we, like, knew each other in person...
Like, what are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do?
You gonna kill me?
You'd still probably be my friend.
Yeah.
Because I'm, and if you wouldn't, you have issues. You have bigger issues to deal with.
Yeah. You need to go read a book, step outside.
No, you deadass need to, like, get off your computer, get off your phone, and step out into the real world.
Yeah.
And go into spaces full of people with different views. Mm-hmm. And that's another thing, like, that's one of the reasons, like, I used to be scared about going into trans spaces because I felt like if I felt a certain way about certain issues, that everyone would fucking hate me.
Yeah.
But now I don't give a fuck about anything. Like, I'm just like, I would go just to see what it's like. And obviously, if I don't vibe with the people, I don't vibe with them. No matter what their beliefs are. Because, like, just because you're a certain thing doesn't mean you're not cool. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think it all just comes back to pop culture and social media.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Damn, what's next on the agenda?
The gay agenda?
The gay agenda.
That Twitter post?
Oh. At this point, I don't even want to talk about it. I'm so exhausted talking about gender this, viewer this. Okay, so there's this guy on Twitter who has been making little baggies for homeless people. He includes tissues and hand sanitizer, a mask, like $2 to $5 in each baggie, something like that. And someone said, amazing idea. Shelters I have worked with also have included menstrual products for those who have periods, foot powder because of folks often walk about, just some extra ideas for the care packages. And the guy was like, yes, I need all the ideas I can get from other lenses. Thank you for this. I'm gonna include some femme hygiene. I'm like, okay, great. And then someone else went out of their way to be like, this is a great project. A reminder, though, that menstruation isn't inherently feminine/femme. There are plenty of people who aren't women who menstruate, and plenty of women and femme people who don't menstruate. Menstrual care products is a good alternate phrase. Smiley face.
What did they say at the end?
Menstrual care products is a good alternate phrase. Like, bro. Like
you
in the real world.
You could just call it femme products.
Literally.
People would understand what you're talking about.
Exactly. Why, at this point, people online just, like, they pick apart at the smallest of things when in real life, femme products, menstrual care products, people know what the hell you're talking about.
And what gender is this person who said it?
That's the thing. I don't know. 'Cause look,
they don't have pronouns? Well, did you pull up their Twitter?
I only took a screenshot.
Well, it says it right there.
Okay. Ooh, I was about to say it. Let me not say it. But anyway, so what are you gonna say about the situation?
Honestly, I think it doesn't fucking matter. I think it's great to include menstrual products in general. It doesn't matter what you label them as because, first off, trans guys don't want to talk about it in general.
Exactly.
Like, no trans guy wants to fucking talk about it.
I had a feeling.
Okay,
Non-binary
so
white person. They, them. That's what it says on their bio.
hashtag Black Lives Matter, of course. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Black lives do matter. Oh, I think I was trying to zoom in. Like, I thought it was a.
Yo, what?
Oh.
How did you do that?
I don't know. I think I pressed on their link.
You pressed on their website. I'm like, step outside in the real world. Everyone knows what you're talking about. We don't need to make these distinctions. They're not helping anyone, really.
If you have questions or would like to talk, please reach out, especially if you're bi POC, a woman, transgender, or non-binary, disabled, and or a first-generation college student. You can get in touch with me by. Are you rich or something? I don't get it. Like, how are you gonna help me? Maybe I'm just being stupid.
I'm excited to design and work on projects to reduce discrimination on technology platforms.
Alright, so this person is non-binary and is commenting on a post about menstrual products being
included in a baggie for homeless people.
But them being referred to as feminine products instead of menstrual products. Yeah. I mean, like, I get what they're saying. Like,
yeah.
You want to include everyone. You want to make everyone feel good. But honestly, what's going through my mind is, like, it is feminine. Okay, because it happens to people who are biologically female. And some people hate it. Some people are fine with it. Some people love it. And obviously, if you're one of the people who hate it and you have the means to, you can... I mean, maybe I'm going a little too far, but you can get surgery. You can get surgery, or you can go on birth control, Depo, or if you're transgender and you want to medically transition, you can go on to hormones, which doesn't guarantee that will stop, but, like, there are ways around it if you're uncomfortable with it in general.
Yeah. I
think it doesn't really matter what you call it.
Exactly. It literally is what it is.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. What did Shakespeare said? He said, what did Shakespeare said? Shakespeare said, a rose by any other name is just as sweet. I always think of that because I'm like, it doesn't matter what you label things. It's still the same exact thing.
Literally. Yeah, and me as a person who is trans and whatever, I hate calling myself trans because that's just me. And you can say that I'm transphobic, you can say that I'm that, but I'm not. I don't give a fuck. I don't think I need to state what my gender is. And in fact, it just gives me dysphoria to talk about it. Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Man, I feel like I'm in Inside Out. That's the name of it, right?
The movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, with all the emotions in your head.
Wait, what's the name of the other movie?
Soul?
No. There's Inside Out and Get Out.
Oh, it's like... That's like completely different movies.
I was like, whatever. Yeah, as me, I think it makes me uncomfortable. And the thing is, everybody is different. Yeah. What makes me uncomfortable can make somebody else comfortable.
Yeah.
But me, personally, let me say this a million times because people don't understand that everybody else feels a different way, especially on the internet. Everyone just wants to feel the same fucking way about things, which is literally impossible. And you'd be stupid to think that you could ever function the same way another human being does because we're all unique individuals. And my mom says I'm special. So... I don't know, I just feel like that belonged there.
Yeah.
I think it's stupid. I think it's extra. That's what I think it is. Perfect summarization of how I feel. I think it is extra, and I think it is not needed. And I think there's no reason to go out of your way and comment on someone's post about charity work that they're doing for homeless people.
Yeah, like...
And correct the way that they mentioned feminine products.
Like, is that really necessary? Like, did you help out? Like, what? You did nothing.
No, in fact, you just, actually, they did do something. What? They made their way onto our podcast.
Oh my god.
So...
Yo, shout out. No.
Shout out to...
that person on Twitter.
That person on Twitter that we're not going to call out because that'd be kind of mean, I guess. Because people are stupid. And then, whatever. You can't call people out. You get canceled.
That's why you can't even see your own last name. Like, shit. This is really what the internet has come to. Like, you disagree with someone, and people will literally come into your DMs and be like, kill yourself.
Yeah.
Like, shit.
They'll be like... They'll fucking raid your house.
Yeah.
They'll call the fucking SWAT team, and then your house will get swatted because someone disagrees with you on the fucking internet. No, I for real just think people should just get out in the world and finally just, like, talk face to face. So this stuff just stops happening. I just want it to stop happening. The internet needs to be canceled. And honestly, you know those days when, like, Twitter's down or Instagram's down?
Yeah.
I think we need a lot more of those days.
Yeah. Oh my god.
A lot more of those days.
And then, but the funny thing is, as soon as that happens, people go to another site to be like, oh my god, so-and-so is down. I can't believe it. Like, what?
Yeah, I mean...
Guys, take a break. It's like that Nickelodeon, remember when we were as kids, it was like Day of Play or something like that, and they forced us to go outside? Yo, social media needs something like that ASAP.
Yeah. No, for real, like, I remember this one time I was at the dentist, and I don't know what was going on. Like, I just, like, checked my phone, and I, for some reason, saw Twitter's down. Deadass, Twitter was down as long as I was at the fucking dentist. Y'all couldn't go without Twitter for, like, 2 hours?
Yeah.
What?
Bro.
It's sick.
It really is. It's an addiction, and it is,
it's an addiction.
All of us.
Social media is ruining the planet. For one thing, it is ruining society, it is ruining relationships, it is ruining our own health and welfare.
Yeah.
Mental welfare.
Oh, yeah.
Not financial welfare.
You'll
but
give me a potato chip.
It could also be doing that. Here.
Thanks.
But, friendly reminder, delete social media and never go back.
And go vegan.
Vegan. Okay. So I think that wraps up our first podcast. I think we covered all of these little tiny things in a really big way.
This is Down to Earth. The laying down podcast.
The laying down, sitting down podcast.
Podcast.
Until next time, I guess.
Bye.